qualify for chance, but it is do or die for the side of KC. And every time we see this matchup, Kakuka, it is an insane series every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to know what is going to happen with the map veto. Yes, we spoke about the things for the side of Fnatic, but for KC, especially having a new player and trying to get everything worked up together and potentially for champs, I wonder if they change something. Well, the ban is still Ascent, and they decide to pick onto Haven. I wonder why.
Not massively surprised by this, I don't think. What do you think, Mini?
No, this is like, I tried to predict the vetoes and I got it right for once. Usually we talk about it on the attack side, and I think that's going to be interesting, but on the defense, how are they going to problem solve when he's probably towards that C side of the map and his players are having to deal with Fnatic re-clearing A and doing things there? He's probably not going to be able to input in the same way he usually would on the defense.
Yeah, interestingly enough, Fnatic decide to start on the defender side as well. Get the difficult one done early doors and trying to fight brawling towards A lobby. Boaster the one leading the charge, and he's got 3! Boaster really getting involved with a lot of the duels on their attack side last time for Fnatic, but immediately setting the tempo, and KC fully crunched. Yeah, Alpha here on the flag. Both players not looking. Sugetsu turns, flicks Alpha's head, also the spike. To look for a way towards one of the sites. A inclined as it stands, but back into 3 players on the Fnatic side, and only going to get 1 in the end. So a strong start for the defense. Yeah, a great start to that defender side, which is exactly what you want. It's the same case in Toronto, of course, but in terms of a stage 2, completely out of the ordinary. Yeah, and I think like this is a nice conversation to be talking about this Alpha cleans house in Garage, about just the problems that Fnatic have been having in general, right? You think of that map pool and all the problems, how exposed that they look with it. And to give you an example of what that actually means, Fnatic have essentially played an extra group stage where every series has went to 3 maps. That one so far seems to be under control. Under Alpha's banner, but Avez get things started off right. Kayak gone off the board, trying to go walkies. Thinking about a recommitment towards the mid space, but Sugetsu is holding on to it. And a real advantage for KC now, a 5 versus 3. There's a couple of players very close by. I think Crashies has spotted this as well, so Boaster teeing up the blind side, gets the first of the kills off the back of the paranoia, and Crashies right behind it. 10 seconds. Spike only now going in, and the flank has been detected. Kron on the scene, split the post plant that is currently sat on site, but Sadak from the corner, resolute with the rifle in hand now. Kron has work to do to try and at least create a bit of damage here, but it's going to be too much to ask of him. There are 2 players in Garage, reinforced by the Viper Wall from Kron. Sat a little more defensive on B, but Kayak's done his job. The op in play, finding that first kill, where they went down 3v5 before. Oh my lord, Martine immediately catches our attention. That quick double on A has forced this quick reaction. How much value could he possibly get from this position? KC completely stalled out, and with Kayak on the angle, it's Martine to win the fight. Has his number this time. Kron still playing behind the cloud. Safe passage backside, Martine to try and open up the play. Has he been left unconsidered? It seems to be the case for Martine. Does crack the whip and collect his 4th. Kron finished off by the shock dart, and it's a tied game outside of the first 4 rounds. We need to see that consistency from him, because you say he's top of the scoreboard, and it is through the 4K which he just picked up, but that has to channel round on round, and we do get it here. The Outlaw out for punishment. Alves watching C-Long, collecting Kayak. Fnatic down to their last 3 members. Assessed the options and found the A site. All 3 players here on the defense, but still Sheriffs in hand. Thing getting low. The edge of the smoke, Boaster finally reveals his position. Flood out covered. Alves has it handled well. KC now in the lead. Yeah, and also he's got the fake clone, the Euro clone, to try and fake steps as well. Okay. So it will be a B execution here for KC, and there is a vacuum that they'll look to fill. Straight in, but so are Fnatic. Look at the extremities here. Alpha close by. You can see Kayak looking to poke and prod towards that A lobby as well. So while the spike goes down, KC are losing a lot of map control at the same time. maybe where you'd look to get Martin involved. Has the dimensional drift, but the sewers lockdown from Alpha forces players towards Garage. Big fight about to go down with the ult now in play.
Still a trap there for KC to get that extra information if needed, and they're trying to explore elsewhere. KC get one back, make that two, make that three, and it's Pyro to do it. Throwing out a Garage, trying to make his way through, but you look at the position of the last two players, there's no way that Kron should have a chance, and he does not. The French side make it a lead of 2. Still very stagnant from KC though.
Kron looking for his time to strike. He can smell blood in the water. Alva's going to go looking punished, and there you have it. Fnatic with an opening.
Crashy's a little bit more hesitant to move any further forward. He's the weak side of this hold, and Booster at the same time gets caught out towards the left side of B main. The players making their way towards A get denied by Crashies, but that spike will be going down. Or will it? That's a big Hunter's Fury, and manages to get one. That's Fnatic, 3 to the good.
Martin with 4 players to get past. He's found his first.
Yeah, you know he's good for it, but he isn't good for any more. Fnatic answer back straight after the timeout. Still continuing to force the issue.
Placing swamp grenade.
It is though. Towards Garage, and Sadak all on his own with no possibility of being traded, gets caught out.
One of the times you do see the 4-1. Now into Garage.
That Blaze Wall's doing so much. The alarm bot can't see the players walking through. One gets picked up. Poster though, looking for a quick trade.
Drop down, but Sugetsu expects it. Knows Boaster's tricks well. KC and Fnatic more than familiar. And this time, KC will be taking the lead for themselves, but it's important to address that as well. Maybe not the best example.
It was all the way back in 2021.
Jeez, man. Yeah, how much of a feather duster, how big did you need to dust off those history books? Because that's been a long time.
The fact that people were saying, like, is he up to his best? Is he starting to have a performance dip? And straight away, as the year progresses, he's back to it.
Crashy's the one to start this round in Fnatic's favour, though. These first engagements have very often indicated the direction of the round. Fnatic only finding their first outside of the opening 2 means that KC have been able to turn these situations on their head. But a 5 versus 3 as Kron makes the next incision through B. Has them sat in mid.
The timing's insane. Boaster doesn't know, and he's been found by Martin. That should allow the spike to make its way on towards site. There's a little bit of a gap in timing to allow the spike down easy enough. But where does KC go with a post plant on the front foot?
Still 2 flashes left here for KC. One of them used by Martin to take that aggressive fight. Sugetsu notes the flank. They should be looking towards defender's spawn now.
The timing, the delay, it's going to not work in Fnatic's favour. They want all 3 players here, and with Alpha so far away, it's going to allow Martin to play in the smoke. 2 apiece, more utility being sent forward, and that smoke going allows Alpha the next kill. Sugetsu now needs to clutch up a clean headshot, leaves him in a 1 versus 1 against Alpha. The spike looking to be half, but Sugetsu looking to try and find the next fight, but it goes Alpha's way.
It's not going to be close enough though. A Red Bull clutch for Sugetsu.
You look at Fnatic, previously in rounds were being proactive, this time round very reserved. We're going to get the dimensional drift on towards B, where Boaster sits above. He's been identified and picked up. Unfortunate, Hunter's Fury in towards C-Link. It isn't quite connecting.
Errol will land one of those pulses at the very least. Kayak and Crashies clamping on down. Spike still not yet planted in the pit to recover.
Finally it will be. And yeah, as you said, Viper's Pit deposited straight away and one back towards Fnatic.
Plant in though. KC will just be looking for spam. Crashies can alleviate all of his pressure.
He can and does. Big pick. Now the player's distracted in B, and Crashies knows about Sugetsu trying to flank him. He's doing this all by himself and calling for players to get on the spike, but Abez is denying it.
No half.
It's not, but finally it will be. And now the players looking at Fnatic to find the picks, which they will. But is there enough time for Crashes to finish this out?
Just about. He's going to be able to get it over the line, and Fnatic will find another round through a retake. The City of Love.
Yeah.
Perfect for a honeymoon.
Yeah, that it is. Spike down and straight into a post plant. Very early doors. Fnatic now have to pick up, and where do they go for this retake? It seems as if bodies are committed mostly towards the seaside.
Aves doubling down though with this run it back. Alfia's going to spot him and chalk off a lot of the HP. Molly at the feet, sets up Sadak, converts. Defuse still not yet worked on, but finally Fnatic have to get their hands busy. Kayak flooding out to create some of this space. There's no second layer, no flank this time. They're fully reliant on being able to dissuade the players that face them down. Aves new lease of life back out of the ult. Another kill for him, and numbers in their favor until Crashes steps on the scene again. 3 kills from him, but it still might not suffice. A smoke post-mortem boaster, but it's Pyro to bail them out again. Arrive at the stage in those kinds of situations with such calmness. But this half is yet not completed, and Chronicle's already found the first of those kills. Kayak fighting from sight. KC trying to retake this space, and Aves doing a brilliant job, but the backline has been compromised.
It has, and there's Alpha with a rifle here. The players now trying to search towards CT. Aves being the sole player to do so. It's not really finding much.
Take this full 9 yards. Aves gets caught, and now it is on Sadak. The captain to clutch it. Has a path to walk towards A, but locks eyes with Boaster. There is no way back for him now. Alpha closing the net. Sadak boxed in, running for his life, but no savior in sight. 2 rounds between the teams. Brilliant recovery from Fnatic in the last few.
I'm out of here.
Starting towards A lobby, and KC up to the challenge, trying to fight through Chronicle's Viper wall, and Fnatic actually found themselves, but Alpha, late to the party, wins that first fight.
Big duel for him to win, but Martin's still hanging around.
Yes, he wants that trade and gets it, backs away. But look at Fnatic, already so far up A long.
It's a long rotation here for KC.
Yeah, and Pyro found the players squirming out, manages to escape, can't quite get the pick, but Martin still holds on towards short, and Kayak has set his sights on finding him, and does. That should allow the spike to go down. Chain their way out.
Looking for the contact on Kayak here.
Yeah, and well, Kron playing off him as well, trying to clear the corners and does so. This gets worrying because now at least Crashes against Sugetsu, but time getting low, and that's all Crashes needs to play with. Just denies Sugetsu the opportunity to defuse, and does so. Fnatic straight back with a pistol round win.
Not moved after that first player spotted. And it's good. It's good. Yeah. Ale, how many more of those do we want to potentially pick up? Alpha has spotted some targets at the very least, and
yeah,
from the Fnatic perspective here, you're looking at building up ults.
Saving Grace though, realistically, was just a pistol player, right?
How can they partner up best as possible? 2 duelists that can flash. I mean, we don't really see Phoenix all too much, but if you take away Alpha, it's just 2 rifles in the next. It's exactly what it'll end up being, so Sadak will have notification of this push in with his trap, but Martin fakes the TP. He's committed to long.
Yeah, he's trying to commit to the fight, and it's Fnatic that's won every single one. A site opened. Spike can go down, and even enough time for Crashes to pick up an extra orb.
So it looks like Carmine Core will reconsider here.
That BBL game, there was a lot more question marks than exclamation marks about Fnatic's map pool.
The blue wall built yet again, but cannot crumble if the road to Paris is to be a success. Trailing now in this game, Crashes opens things up from Graffiti. Aves getting sprayed with bullets, but it's Pyro at the double again. Their savior stepping up. Boaster low has to respect the wall. There's no time for the plant to come in. KC have stood their ground and stood it successfully. 3 players on their feet. Yeah, full fake. They're heading towards B now. We've reached the 15-second mark. Still not yet made any progress onto the neck of the site itself. Martin with the first of the kills, and you're expecting more from KC. You're gonna get it. Martin on for a hat trick. and he'll manage to pick up all 3 of them. The spike has gone down in the meantime, but there's nothing left to be saved for Fnatic. Crashy's the final player to fall.
Look at the trap towards B as they try to fight out Garage to get the value from it, but Crashies needs to escape, too low to have another fight. Yeah, but the space that Fnatic have found at the same time, as Crashies looks to stand up to the flank, it doesn't work out, and now the front 2 players, or at least the front 1 of Poster, tries to find something back and it doesn't work.
VC coming out of the timeout looking rejuvenated, a slight tweak in terms of their own positioning.
How long does that TP last for?
So we're here to find out. Martin has been gutted. Crashies to collect him. Find lines of defensive cover, dark cover. Sugetsu in the corner, still yet to be cleared. Time ticking down. Boaster has the ult, repositions A, clean from Chronicle to remove Pyro. And then we'll get the plant in 5 versus 2. A save call perhaps, but a positive now for Fnatic, and they've not had to spend any ults in the process either. Lockdown confirming that Fnatic have ambitions in the middle of the map as it stands, but KC are ready to respond to this. Aves still with the run it back into this retake potential.
I don't know if that cam got destroyed there in the end, and it seems if the ultimates are going to come through, I'll run it back in an overdrive, but Spike denied.
Ollie kill, Aves looking for more, denied it, but it's on the opposite side. Fnatic have to retrieve it with no time again.
Yeah, in no man's land, need to brawl their way through the site, and it's not going to work. It's a choke point that KC are using, turning this into a meat grinder, and it's mostly Fnatic's bodies that have gone through it. Having to save, having to call it right here. And it's going to be KC reaching 11 within touching distance of map point.
Fnatic immediate to take up the C space.
Yeah, but is this what KC want? Is this the plan for the round? Sadak maybe stepping about a bit too far. Allows to get the entry. An indirect trade on towards Crashies and an extra ping onto Alpha.
Pyro has been very good with his Sova ult so far. A flexible player stepping into the lineup and part of this flood now backside.
Oh, Kayak at the back of side, looking to hold up himself, but can't quite do it. This is turning into a death match of a round.
These last few final pieces that could stave off KC. Still not managing to get into the pit right now, walking around the side, dropping from the heavens instead, and Pyro is heaven sent. A triple kill on the round from KC's new player! But from left field, Chronicle gives you a reminder of exactly who he is. Only Sadak on site as it stands. He has struggled to dissuade Fnatic up until this point, and the support is a little late to arrive. Has to win the first fight and does.
He does, and there's more utility to come through, but that neural theft is massive for information.
Second reveal, hat off his head. Sadak letting it rip.
He's the big one, the one to unlock the site. Sadak. Oh, and Pyro in the corner allows Fnatic into the site potentially.
And now we need another big Martin moment. 30-second mark now crossed. Spike still committed, and all 3 players on the KC side here.
As Graffiti needs to be cleaned, that's where a double stack of KC deposits are.
For the execution as it comes in, Martin has his, and both duelists deny it. Fnatic have really fanned out on their map control, but back to Garage we go. It's the drone that Martin wants to try and play in front. With no TP, he's committed still to this corner. Do create a little bit of breathing room for themselves. Boaster towards backside, but it's the back line that you've got to be looking at, and Sadak has already given numbers.
Vez up against Alpha, yeah, and it's Alpha to win it out. Sadak looking for something to go his way. The buy's still in favour of KC, even though Fnatic have a player advantage. With a set piece to set up Kayak and deny KC the round is there, as every single player will drop, and Fnatic bring it within 1.
Ooh, Kron cutting off one of the avenues of approach though for Fnatic, and without strong sewer control, it's the lockdown long instead. Can't fully push KC off site.
But Martinez went searching and found a whole load of danger, and on top of that, Hunter's Fury to deny anybody getting into sight, and Boaster at the same time cuts off the rotates. It's looking worse and worse for KC.
One player less to consider though on the site as Boaster is removed. Crashy the same in main. Effective 3-on-3 if they challenge it, but KC slow on the update.
Yeah, that they are, but there's delay to come through. Oh, Pyro at the same time finds Alpha here. From where? A brilliant spam, but Crashes at the same time finds that Sova. Time ticking away, and KC need to get a move on. If they're to deny overtime, which they will not, it's Boaster to take Fnatic there.
Instantaneously, Kayak on the line. Sadak has to cross. Receives himself a shot in the midriff. Inserting himself in the corner. Molly at the feet of Ava's decision to be made. He sits around for long enough to collect it, but there's no second swing. Oh, it finally comes in delayed from Boaster. In the meantime, having Kayak on the other side of the map, collecting all of that information, it has enabled the stack, and still Alpha goes down. No synergy between the remaining members. Has to be the Crashy show. Needs to see his name in lights, but put out in the dark by Martin.
4 against 1. A Kayak clutch, a glass cannon up, and a run it back heading his way. Make it a 5th, but he's found the first of them. Wolfang is ambitious. Those ambitions put to rest. Calming core now, up to map point again. Just like KC adapted to how Fnatic wanted to play through mid themselves, the timing, and Alpha are up close against the Vez, and he tries to take him out and will do so. A big one to find, but KC still find Boaster.
Sadak has a decision to make. Does he want to play on site or drop off? Looks like he's going to stick it as long as possible, and the trap's done its job. Alpha closing the distance. Quick trade.
There it is, and garage control important because there is no smokes and there is no players left on C. Alpha caught out trying to escape. He brings us back to a 2-on-2.
Pyro with Martin. So many big clutches between the two of them, and now the 2-on-2, Kron and Crashies.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much initiation to try and get out of garage, but that utility could be the run. Oh! But instead it's Martin, and he'll win out. Map 1 for KC.
We've been waiting to see Martin make his return to the top of form, but it was the driving force behind KC on this opening map win against Fnatic. The road to Paris, a long one, but if they can replicate this kind of success in quick fashion, then maybe, just maybe, there's a chance. We'll find out after this.